Olá, estamos iniciando o programa IAgora Entrevista, dedicado a explorar os caminhos e desafios para a educação brasileira com a inteligência artificial. Hoje temos a honra de receber a professora Valentina Dagiené, pesquisadora do Education Systems Group e professora principal da Universidade de Vilnius. É um prazer tê-la conosco, professora Valentina. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Professor Valentina.
Hello, everybody. I'm really happy always to talk to teachers, to educators, because it's my big pleasure to be involved in education.
Nice. So, based on your research and experience in computer science education, how do you assess the role of artificial intelligence in promoting computational thinking and developing STEM skills?
I think that now AI, artificial intelligence, is really challenging for all of us, and it's we all need to learn. Teachers, educators, professors, children, and it doesn't matter. But it's really something like new era, because we still need to catch how we can combine computational thinking, algorithmic thinking, teaching, programming, STEM, but everything, these all areas are connected and linked together. But actually for teachers, it's really a big, as I told, big challenge, but also it is interesting what we can open for our students, for our pupils. Then it's really interesting life now in education.
How nice. We also think the same in Brazil, even though we are still far behind from other countries. But within Education Systems Group, you explore the use of AI to improve teaching and learning process. Could you please provide some examples of such applications?
I think that now AI is everywhere. We just we just don't know. If you use Google Translator, that is also based on AI. But for educators, I think that is the most important is that we can, as teachers, we can provide students with better personalized learning. What does it mean? We already talked maybe 10 years ago with personalized learning, but it was not so easy to reach, because if each teacher needs to do many things, and no AI can do. And one thing is this virtual learning environments or different platforms, because they almost all now based on one or another type of AI. And that means that students can get better paths to solve exercises, for example, like in math, or to do some experiments like in STEM education. It means that teachers need to guide them. And I am teacher also, like professor at university, also teaching teachers. And so we need to adapt these instruments, tools that we can suggest our students, our pupils to get better way and more, let's say, more intelligent and more personalized and enjoying and more motivated. So it means that these tools are really powerful, and we need to learn or to think about these new opportunities.
Oh, very nice. You mentioned some platforms and some like new applications using AI. Could you please give us some examples, or what do you think we should put an eye on, like a nice platform or a nice initiative that is already happening that you think that it would be nice for us Brazilians to get to know?
I think that it is each country has something like, for example, like Moodle based. I usually like this open access on free of charge platforms that everybody can use. But for example, I can mention from Finland, Ville. It's Ville Visual Learning Environment. And another name is Eduten, that they provide this. It's like visual learning environment that students can learn, for example, math. Also, I worked with this team, Turku University team, that we provided many exercises on computational thinking. And this Ville, for example, you can Google and got UNESCO awards this year. So it means that Ville, or another name, Duten, they are quite already known in the world. But there is many of such different platforms. I don't know, in Brazil, probably you also have or had and know these platforms. What is interesting that they all programmers use the AI. It means that they are more flexible, more adaptive, and we can teach, because I wanted to mention, for example, like Google Teachable Machine, that students have this possibility to teach machine, to teach computer or robot, and we all will become teachers. So this is also exciting. But to be teacher, again, we need to learn somehow how to communicate, how to teach in a better way. So this is what we can do now in our world with technology.
Very nice. And how do you envision AI shaping educational methodologies? Which aspect seems most promising to you, like in changing methodology with STEM education, especially AI?
I think that it is really, really a big challenge for all of us. And you mentioned very deep question, methodology, that we need to think and to do differently. Actually, methodology should be more flexible, and we need to combine many tools. And of course, maybe for methodology, we need to ask also like ChatGPT or ask AI to help us. But in order to help, like in humans, when you needed some help, you need to know what you would like, because you need to be very, like teachers, we need to know what we would like to teach our students, what objectives we have, what results we would like, how we assess. So this is all questions is quite open and quite challenging. And if we can answer these questions, then we can ask AI to help us help us with improving methodology, or just to suggest us which methodology is better, because now it's plenty of methods like active learning and student-centered learning. We know many of them, but some of them is not easy to follow, as I mentioned, like personalized learning. But if teacher needs a lot of work, then it's not so efficiency. But with AI, that we can do more, because we have really powerful helper.
Oh, nice. And from these methodologies that you mentioned, which one do you think has or some of them that you think that are best match with technology? Like you mentioned some of them, but maybe you give some more details about this match into methodologies and technologies, please.
It is really hard to say. Like in medicine, there are no one pill that can treat all diseases. It depends on many, in education, we are so different, and it depends on your country, on habits, on learning goals, on curricula. Also, we should remember teacher, classroom. Perhaps in one classroom, teachers knows well this methodology. One methodology, for example, like project-based learning, works very well, but in other classroom it's not so good. Or students like more individual work, and so it means that teacher should again, maybe with support of AI, to have like 10 or 20 methods and adapt to each classroom or style or students. And that is our as teachers, our maybe interesting lives, that we always have something to do, and we cannot I sometimes I'm telling, like in field, if you have only one type of roses, it will be boring. But if you have many colored roses and some others and so it's beautiful. That's why with children, with methods, with all tools, we need to be flexible. But now we have this AI who can help us to deal with these tools and instruments.
That's very nice, because that's the point that we are right now, that make a revision on the methodologies we have on our educational system. And then the considerations that you gave us about like learning goals, the competencies, the abilities, and that we have all the specificities of each classroom and of each teacher is very important, but it's definitely something that we should put an eye on, because to have a better use of AI and of technology, we need to match it properly with technology, with methodology. So thank you so much. And going further on these issues that we're talking, I would like to know that, in your point of view, how could AI contribute to creating more accessible and effective educational resources for diverse audiences? We have a very large country with different economic situations, with lots of needs in terms of inclusion. What are your suggestions, and how do you see this issue?
I think that it is really good now to have AI, like, for example, like ChatGPT, that we can ask to make more adaptive exercises, for example, for some local needs, for example, like to teach some environment or some village issues. So we can, if teachers can learn these tools, they can more easy to make individual exercises and to choose for children, for classroom. So I think it is a really good thing that we can, but of course we need to be ourselves to be more open-minded, to not too afraid that now it's teaching is more let's say like without borders, that we are not like in box, but we need to be open and we need to learn together with our students, with children. And of course we have as adults, as teachers, we have some experience that we can guide a little shape, but it means we can also help them, but we can get some very good help from our AI, from instruments, and much faster help, effective help, let's say.
And in your opinion, what impact does AI have on students' autonomy, on their responsibilities for their own learning?
I think for students' autonomy or individual learning, it is a big impact, because it's I mentioned that it's you can choose some personalized learning, and if some kids are interested more in some technology, they can get deeper questions or exercises. If some interested in nature, they can focus on this way. Who are slowly can do exercises in own speed, like in village, when I mentioned in this virtual environment, but there are plenty of such environments. But for you mentioned for responsibility, so this is another question. I would say that for responsibility is we need it's you touched very deep question, what is connected to ethical issues, where many books now talking about AI, how to use in proper way, and of course we need to teach all and students to be responsible. When you are a teacher, it means that each pupil can teach some robots, some like behavior. So it means that we need more to talk and to discuss about, not only the talks from one side, but just to discuss with students what our responsibilities, and responsibilities for nature, responsibility for our parents, for city, for society. So this is really big issue and big questions that we really need to talk from primary to upper secondary school, for sure.
That's very interesting, because it's somehow in this scenery that we have with AI, that is like technology is improving so fast, and we need to keep up, and we need to improve also with our human skills now, for us to have more benefit of the technology. So it's very nice. So thank you so much, Professor Valentina. We are about to finish our first part of our interview program, and now o programa IAgora Entrevista vai fazer um breve intervalo e nós já voltamos.